screen changes. And I'll give you, I don't want to, I've got to be careful. I'm not going to drive fast. I don't break the speed limit. I'll give you a little bit of a standing start. Just the speed of the car is unbelievable. BMW, when it first came out, had the speed 0 to 60 at 4.2 seconds. I saw people testing the vehicle on YouTube, and they rated the speed. Some of them got the car to below 4 seconds. I believe someone 3.8, high 3.8s on 0 to 60 times. Now, I don't drive fast. Really, around town, I don't break the speed limit, but it is nice to have a quick car. This is a little curvy road in our town. Give you a little video of it maneuvering this road. Man, it's just a the BMWs are extremely tight cars. Very, very tight cars. You can change the tone of the exhaust through the instrument cluster. You can have it as a throaty exhaust even when you're in eco mode or comfort mode, or as I'm in sport, as you hope you can pick it up on the microphone. In sport mode, it definitely gets more throatier. Definitely has a distinctive throaty sound to the car. I'm close to 6'3". You know I'm a big guy. I won't get into that. I'm a size of a defensive lineman. Probably wasn't size of a defensive lineman 40 years ago. Now I'd be lucky if I was the size of a quarterback. I'm not a small person. This car has plenty of headroom for me. Just enough as I'm sitting in the vehicle, and I'm wearing a hat, so I have enough headroom. Driving position in BMWs, for me, I just fit. Both elbows are comfortably on the door armrest and on the center console. I can adjust. One thing that's disappointing, they have a manual adjustment on the steering wheel. You have to unlock it. It's not electric. But I fit, for large people interested in this vehicle, I fit in it very well, and it's just a great performing car. I wasn't sure on what color to pick, and because I had a GMC truck in like a blue jean blue, or I think they call it dark sky blue color, I gravitated towards doing this car in blue. My brother Phil said blue is a traditional BMW color. He found me BMWs from the 50s that were in blue with actually a red interior. So I decided to get the blue in the car and get the red interior, and this seems to be their flagship colors for this car on their website. If you look it up, you'll find this blue and this interior on their website. Now again, it's picking up, it's interesting, it's picking up cross traffic on that radar screen, and it's just give you a look at the back of the car. This car is such a driving machine. So this car is a very intelligent car. BMW's electronics are very impressive. So it has adaptive cruise control, which will control your distance to the vehicle in front of you. I'll turn it on right now. I will keep the cruise control on. I will not touch the brake or the accelerator at all on this vehicle, and show you how that works. It does have assisted driving, where it will keep itself within lane. I can take my hand off the steering wheel for probably about 30 seconds or so, and then I have to reset it. If I leave my hand off the steering wheel, it will get upset and lights will shine here and there on the car. You can see in the heads-up display it doesn't like it. wants me to put my hands on, and then it's going to send a warning here, and then I put my hands back on. Now I'll stay behind this car, and the car is braking automatically. Now it's braking hard. I'm not doing anything, and the car has come to a stop. I've done nothing, and it shuts itself off. I wish my truck did that, but they deleted that. And as you can see, a little instrument cluster. It's showing the car in front of me on its screen, and it will track cars in multiple lanes. It's actually quite amazing. The lights turn green, the car is started up. It sensed that the car in front of me was moving away. You can see it's tracking other cars in other lanes. You can see that on the screen. And now it senses this other vehicle's moving, it's slowing down. And I have done nothing. I basically touching the steering wheel, not steering, and I'm not using the brake or the accelerator. And this car will not turn. It will keep me in the lane and also keep me from hitting the car in front of me, keep a safe distance. It's applying the brake, stopping the vehicle, shutting off the engine. When the light turns green and the car in front of me is moving, it starts the engine and gets the vehicle moving forward again. To me, that's absolutely amazing technology. And I believe GM and maybe Tesla has technology, autopilot vehicles, where they'll drive themselves from destination to destination, making turns, recognizing stoplights, yellow lights, green lights, and I just think that technology is amazing. This is my last car I'll ever own. It's my 2021 BMW M440i. It's rated at 382 horsepower. It's a mild hybrid. It has I believe about a 25 horsepower electric motor attached to the transmission, which gives it assist in takeoffs, and also, I believe also will assist it when it's on the highway. Even though I like quick cars, I am not a fast driver. I don't break the speed limit when I'm driving around town. These are people's neighborhoods. But I do like a quick car, quick vehicle. I like something that responds. I've said a couple times in videos, this is the last car I'm going to own. I will either have a truck or an SUV the rest of my life. And this was my last hurrah with a car, especially as I consider this a sports car. I hope you can hear the exhaust note in the car. It's just phenomenal. Just phenomenal. I do have it in sport mode now, and the car, if you're interested, let me say it frank, I'll be frank with it. If you want a sports car, two-door sports car, that's all-wheel drive in the wintertime in Buffalo. This car has served me through the winter in Buffalo and done well in the snow. I don't think there's a car that can match this one. I've always said, why doesn't Ford or Chevy make the Camaro an all-wheel drive? I think they'd sell them in the winter states year-round if those vehicles had all-wheel drive. And they have the technology to do it, and they won't. I think they'd sell them like crazy. So this essentially, to me, is an all-wheel drive. To me, this is an all-wheel drive Mustang or Camaro. I'll give it a shot. We'll pull away here. Give you a shot again. Take it off. And I'll put it in manual shift, which I don't like doing because I'm bad. I have to change hands. It's just a rocket. It's a rocket. This has BMW's legendary straight six engine. For a while, it was twin turbocharged. I think as of recently as this car, It's a single turbocharger with an electric boost on the engine. The mid-range performance on this straight cylinder 6, and I think essentially, and BMW experts, please comment, essentially this straight 6-cylinder engine, I believe, has been around even before the 80s. Long time, maybe in different displacements. To me, I think it's probably the greatest legend of a 6-cylinder in existence as far as longevity. And they keep massaging it, making it better. But in longevity and also in performance among a great spectrum of vehicles. Man, just amazing. I'm going to keep this video short. I'm going to keep the video short and just tell you, I'll add to this. Many of you know that this car I was rear-ended by a young woman. I was stopped, and she said she hit me at about 40 miles an hour. I think it was less than that. My wife and I were in the vehicle. I want to say it was 20. I'm guessing she was going about 30 miles an hour. I did black out in the vehicle, and my wife was shaken up. I did have, I think, trauma to my head and back, lower back. Did get over it. I think this car might have saved us from serious injury because of the quality of BMW. I think this car, the safety features, the quality of construction of the vehicle saved us from serious danger. By the way, all BMWs are this smooth with this engine. I think this might be all I want to do from inside the car, because you probably don't want to look at me. You want to look at the outside of the car, and I'll show that to you next. I'll pull over someplace and show it to you, maybe in my backyard. See if the all-wheel drive works on turf. Man, I never realized what a good off-road vehicle this was. Give you a look at the car. This was, very early after they released this car, I got it. Credit to BMW. I don't know, 8-9 months into COVID, when no one had automobiles on their lot, no one was making cars. I shouldn't say no one. Many manufacturers were not making cars. My BMW dealer told me, you order a car, we'll get it made in Germany and get it to you in 4 to 5 weeks. They did exactly that. The price was good on the car. I thought it was very fair. They made it in Germany, shipped it over here. I had a car in probably 5.5 weeks, which I just thought was amazing. And BMW is still manufacturing and keeping their production lines open and getting people new cars. I think that's extremely impressive. Give you a shot of the car. I actually should give you a video of it down by the pond. And in fact, you know what? I'm gonna drive it down there. Hope I don't get stuck. So, look at the rear cameras, they're amazing. This is a wet area of my property. I could get stuck. Might have to use the excavator to pull out the BMW. We'll see. Pond color, the pond matches the color of the car. course, it has the front license plate off of it because I turned it in. This large kidney grille was a big controversy on the design of this vehicle because it's so large. Not typical. BMW is usually much smaller, but this is going back to the classic BMWs of the 50s and 60s, really the 50s. I actually liked it. Aerodynamic control, there are slats in this grille that close to cut off the air from going into the radiator and engine compartment. And when it's not needed, when the vehicle is maintaining its temperature well, that works extremely well. You see the scoops supplying air to the brakes. This is the M package fascia, LED lights. The dealer plate on the back. At times I did use this vehicle on some of my videos for a camera caddy, which it worked out very well from that. I liked, when I ordered the car and built it, I wanted red calipers on the brakes. Very inexpensive. Actually, it might have been a zero cost option on this vehicle. Red calipers. I thought they tied into the rear lights well on the vehicle, and also the red interior. If you can make out the red interior. Nice M logo on it. This is the exterior of the car. The BMW M440i is very fast. Let's say it's a 4.2 4-second car, 0 to 60. It's governed by BMW, I believe, at 135 miles an hour because it has the all-season tires on it. They govern the engine for safety. I'm not going 135 miles an hour. In fact, most of the time, almost all the time, I'm not going 0 to 60 in 4 seconds. But it's fun to drive. Give it a 10 on handling. I give it most of the time a 10 on ride, although when it's cold out, the tires, it does ride a little rough on country roads. On the highway, it's very nice, very comfortable. For someone my age, though, who's going to have knee surgery, it was just not my next car. This was reliving my youth, and I had to move on. So when I was very young, I saved up all my money at 19 years old and took out a loan, and I bought a 1985 Ford Mustang GT, which at that time was the fastest car out of Detroit. Fastest car. Imagine a Mustang is faster than a Camaro or a Corvette, especially a Corvette. And that's a 2-door car with a bump seat in the back, coupe. And that car was just fantastic. The next year, Corvette was faster and Camaro was faster, and Ford bounced back and made their 1987 Mustang GT the fastest car out of Detroit. Again, all very narrow margin. And I bought an 87 Mustang GT with a T-top on it, which was a lot of fun. I don't know why they stopped making those. This was reliving my youth. This was model. I knew when I got it, this was going to be my last car. I knew it was going to be my last sports car. So I went back to my youth with those 2 Mustangs in the 80s. And this is as close a comparison in an all-wheel drive configuration that I could compare to my 2 Ford Mustangs, except one thing, a couple things. This car is all-wheel drive. They were not. It's more than 2 seconds faster than both those cars in the 0-60 to time. Definitely probably faster in the wide open throttle top speed of the vehicle, although I don't know if anyone's ever tested that. And I would put this car on the track against both those vehicles, maybe even a modern day Camaro on the track with it. It performs extremely well. BMW does make this car vehicle, and this is 382 horsepower with an electric assist motor on the transmission. BMW does make this in an M4, not an M440, that has, I believe, over 500 horsepower and is just a monster. That's also available in all-wheel drive. I want to say that's a 3.4 seconds 0 to 60. Just too much car for me at my age. The seats are heavily lumbar supports on them. They are definitely autocross seats on that car. You could take that car right from the showroom to an autocross and start running cones with that. The seats are set up for it. This car, the seats are very sporty, but they're not that where they're difficult for someone large to get in and out of. So I didn't want to go the M4 route with this vehicle. I have high regards for BMW Buffalo Service Department, and the manufacturer in general, of course my salesperson and the ownership. They have taken good care of me, and now they're going to take care of my wife. They've earned my business, and I'm appreciative of that. This vehicle, I think, saved me from severe injury. It's performed well on ice and in the snow. Fuel mileage, I haven't mentioned fuel mileage. I drive around town most of the time. This gets 26 miles to the gallon. On the highway running, I wasn't doing this, someone else was, 75 miles an hour, 400-mile round trip. It got 39 miles to the gallon, 75 miles an hour, 39 miles to the gallon, touching 40. That, I think, is just amazing. Credit to the cruise control, aerodynamics of the vehicle, the engine, the electric assist motor, and the manufacturer. Just incredible. You always have to be guarded when you show something that you own on YouTube. And I show these videos because I want to share my experience with the vehicle for others that are interested in getting the vehicle. So that's why I'm doing this video. The tractor people, lawnmower people, off-road people, excavator and track loader people may have no interest whatsoever in this vehicle, but I think many of you are like me, upper to middle-aged, senior citizens. You might appreciate the video, and that someone my age and size can get a vehicle like this and enjoy it, and I have thoroughly enjoyed it. It has met all expectations. I just have to move on for the next stage of my life. So Marauders, it's an interesting shot. Get me out of the picture. Get the track loader and excavator in the shot. Marauders, thank you for tuning in the channel. I hope you consider liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and sharing it with someone. I hope you found this video interesting. If you're considering a car, this car was comparable to, in price, in fact lower than American-made cars of similar designs, and it has served me very well and may have saved my life. So hope you enjoyed the video. I hope to see you on the trail. Thank you and take care.